everyone, and thank you very much for coming back to my channel and joining me again. So of course, as always, every single week I have been coming on and doing my spoiler review for every single episode of the final season of the series Star Wars The Clone Wars. So that is what I'm going to be doing today. Of course, I am going to be spoiling it, so if you haven't seen it and you don't want to be spoiled, then maybe put this in your liked videos, go and watch it and come back. So this is going to be episode 9 of the final season, season 7. So we'll roll the intro, and then I have so much that I want to say about this episode. Just absolute wow. This episode was phenomenal. It blew me away. I wouldn't say I wasn't expecting it, but I was hoping that it was going to be amazing, but I wasn't expecting it to be this phenomenal, is what I'm kind of trying to say, because as I said in my last couple of reviews of the episodes, I definitely did not like that last arc, and I had to be honest and say in my last review, I'm glad that it's over. But we're not on here to talk about that, guys. We are on here to talk about this epic episode 9. This episode was a wee bit longer. It was like 29 minutes, so we're just going to call it a half an hour, guys. Yes, it is what it is, guys. May as well say 30 minutes, right? It was a half an hour episode. And not only was this my favourite episode, the best episode, I personally thought anyway. Let me know down in the comments what your favourite episode was so far. But so far, seeing these first 9, this was my favourite. But not only that, it was my favourite, opening, if you know what I mean. Because the first few episodes were absolutely fantastic. And then, as I say, with the last arc kind of went downhill. But this opening was phenomenal. We had Anakin and Obi-Wan together. The way that opened was absolutely fantastic. And I have to quickly say, the visuals were sensational. Sensational. And the music was just out of this world. The music and the visuals. This is literally screams Star Wars. This whole entire episode, Star Wars, unbelievable. And Anakin, of course, came along to Obi-Wan and, wanted to take over kind of deal, basically. And that was a fantastic scene. And he went over, when Anakin went over, you've seen this because this is a spoiler review anyway, so you know what happened in the episode quite obviously. I watched this early this morning with a cup of coffee, if anybody's interested. It was an awesome cup of coffee. But he goes over Anakin and distracts the droids. And that was hilarious. And then they realised, obviously, that they were distracted by Anakin, and the clones just go, and I mean literally full blown go on blast. The clones just go full blast on all the droids, and oh my gosh, that whole entire entrance scene was just phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. And you know what, guys, I am a huge fan of the Clone Wars, and there hasn't honestly been any seasons that I would say I wasn't overly fussed on or anything like that. I have always loved the Clone Wars, so I'm just so happy that after that last arc ended, that this one, what an entrance to this one. Absolutely unbelievable. And we also got to see what we've all been waiting for, and Ahsoka is my favorite character within this series. She's my favorite Clone Wars character, basically, overall, is what I'm trying to say. But I love Anakin and Obi-Wan too. But of course we've seen them within this season, but not obviously physically together, sort of kind of deal. And oh my gosh, guys, Ahsoka appeared to Anakin in hologram form, and you could tell from his face and everything that he was really, really super thrilled, super hyped, super just so emotionally happy to see her. And that really takes you back to the whole beginning, the very, very beginning. It certainly took me way back to the very beginning of Ahsoka and Anakin. So yes, a bit of a heartfelt moment for big fans of both Ahsoka and Anakin. And then he actually gets to see her in person and everything, and that was just really a beautiful moment for any fans of those two. And then he said to her he had this box, right, and it was the gift that he wanted to give to her. And she opened it up, and oh my gosh, guys, it was her double bladed lightsabers, and oh my good goodness. And then he was saying, oh, you know, I've looked after them, or I've kept good care of them, or something, and she was standing with them. And then I can't remember exactly what he said, guys, but it was so early. I watched this morning, and he said something like almost better, or something like that, that she looked kind of deal. I think that's what he was meaning with her lightsabers. And that moment just was absolutely beautiful, and the clones were super happy to see her. They were being really respectful and everything towards her, of course, and how they sort of welcomed her back, sort of, you know, seeing her for the first time again, and the way they all stood and everything, and the helmets and everything. Oh my gosh, that was absolutely so fantastic, how thought up, how they done that. And then the way they were all standing and everything, and she's like walking in, and you could tell she like super appreciated it. And I just thought that was absolutely fantastic that was put in there. I just, hats off, phenomenal. And this episode was absolutely packed full of action, but it wasn't, you know, over the top or anything. It wasn't too much, or, you know, overkill. It was just the right amount of action, perfect pacing from beginning to end. The music blew me away. It just had me like sitting like a pure Star Wars geek, like, this is awesome. And the visuals, you know, I've always loved the Clone Wars for visuals and the animation, but honestly this episode was just so damn good in so many different levels. It had everything that not only a Star Wars fan would want, but a Clone Wars fan would want. And you know, the whole way through the episode you're thinking, okay, but where's Maul? Where's Darth Maul? What the frickety frick? And I was saying to myself halfway through, do you know what? I think he's just going to show up at the end, and that did happen. And Maul showed up at the end, and Ahsoka, basically, she went down to the underground tunnels. And then basically Bo-Katan, she obviously figured out and realised, you know, it's a trap sort of deal. And, you know, she went through to Ahsoka and said, it's a trap, pretty much get out of there now kind of thing. So then that's how the episode pretty much ended, with Ahsoka going down the tunnel, just as, you know, Bo-Katan had let her know, and then she realised, and it went super dark. And wow, just how that whole entire scene was absolutely amazing. And it ended with Maul, you could just see his face coming out, and oh, that was so cool. And he was pretty much saying to her, like, look, love, what are you doing here? I was hoping for Obi-Wan. So that's the whole thing. He was wanting Obi-Wan. So that, he sort of said, I was expecting Obi-Wan, basically. And she was just standing there, surrounded by all these Mandalorians, and there's just Darth Maul standing there, and then you just see his face and her face, and then it just ended, and I knew it was going to end. I'm like, I don't know how many, you know, seconds or minutes are left, because I was just too happy watching the episode. I wasn't like pausing and checking how far am I in, because if I'm really enjoying something, I don't tend to do that. But if I'm not really enjoying something, I'd be the type of person where I'll be sitting checking on my phone what time it is, or I'll be bored, or I'll be, you know, doing something, checking how much time's left because I'm bored. But you know, heck to freaking well no would I do that with this. Heck to freaking well yes. This episode was just unbelievable. I don't say things like off the chain, but you know what, I'm just going to go there with this because it makes sense. This episode was off the chain. It was. And I will be honest, I am super excited to see Maul and Ahsoka head on together, fighting each other, and just, you know what I mean? And of course, you know, the scene that we got to see in the trailer, obviously, for this final season of him and her together. I think that could definitely be what the sex scene that we're going to see in the next episode, possibly. But things are going down in this next episode, and of course we're pretty much practically at the end now of this season. We've not far to go, so oh my gosh, we're definitely going up. Like, not like the last episode, no, not really. Like, but this one, it's just went way high up for me. So I don't know what else to say, guys. Sorry if this came off as more of like a rant video, but honestly, my favourite moment had to be, and I'm sure this, I'm not the only person who this favourite moment was, but you know when Ahsoka landed, and with her lightsabers and everything, and all the flames and everything, and what was behind her. that was absolutely phenomenal, and that was probably my favorite moment, because of course I love Ahsoka, and I'm sure I'm not the only person whose favorite scene that was, but also of course her and Anakin together, all of that, and then Ahsoka with the clones. That was just so touching and so emotional to me, but in a good way. Do you know what I mean? Like really hit the feels. So phenomenal all over. And you know what, guys? People are coming out and saying that YouTubers are coming out and saying that this season is like SJW and that it's woke and it's full on woke. Don't listen to that, honestly. Obviously create your own opinions, of course, but what I'm trying to say is I can only personally say to you is that I personally don't think that it is or has been. I don't get that, to be perfectly honest, and I think those sort of people will end up backpedaling, and then once this season finishes, they'll probably make videos and say how wonderful the last part of this was, because let's face it, you know, that's what they're going to do. I'm sorry, like, but I'm just going to be honest and just say that. But anyways, what an amazing ease this was into this arc. Oh my gosh, I just cannot wait for the next episode and for the last episodes of this season. So what I want to know, guys, is I want to know what your favorite episode has been thus far. Obviously we've only had 9 so far, and what you're hoping to see in the next episode. But also let me know all your thoughts, opinions about this episode, and if you didn't like this episode, that's perfectly fine, because you know we don't all have to agree on everything. We all have different opinions on different things, and that's the whole thing. And on my channel, you're always allowed to express your own opinion. I'm not the type of person that, you know, doesn't allow other people to have their opinions. Not that way at all on my channel, and I have the most amazing community. Everyone is just so nice and kind and supportive and funny and really friendly with everyone who supports me. So again, guys, thank you so much as always for the support. It means the world to me, and I'm super happy to see next week's episode, Darth Maul and Ahsoka Tano. I'm gonna go, guys, because I'm too excited and my coffee's getting cold in my friend's mug. Of course, it has to be a Friends TV show mug, of course. I will see you all in my next video, guys. And yeah, I hope everyone is, you know, keeping well and everything. Obviously, you know, with everything that's going on at the moment, no point in saying the word. But I just want to say that I hope everyone is keeping okay. And please do stay safe. Stay in as much as you can, you know, because it's the only way we're going to kind of get over this, you know, awful, sad situation that is currently going on at the moment. It's not something that I like to come on and talk about on my channel, to be perfectly honest, but I just want to say hope you're all keeping well out there, and you know, do something, you know, take your minds off and things like that. Do something that you enjoy, do something that you love. You know, there's no way that you can get bored, guys. Like seriously, there's so much out there in the world to explore. Take it as a moment to, you know, maybe take up a musical instrument, maybe learn a language online. You literally have the world at your fingertips on your phone. You could learn a new language, new languages. You could learn about history, you know. Use your common sense. But yeah, do what you love, and you know, stay safe, guys, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye, guys.